we are a startup based in Cambridge, UK, and we were founded like 1.5 years ago, and we are doing personal proteomics. So we have two offerings, one for end users, so based on a saliva test, we are measuring thousands of proteins, quantify them, and based on that derived aging scores about how particular people might be doing in terms of biological aging profiles that we can capture with proteins. So we cover like 9 hallmarks of the aging process. And we also have a business-to-business offering to enterprise users, where we work with longevity clinics and clinicians and non-profit research organizations running age-related trials, and also private for-profit companies to offer our proteomic services, based on which we are quite ahead. We are the first mover in this space, so that's a risky proposition, but we see lots of interesting signals in terms of how proteins expression changes over age, and that you can relate into whether something looks like typical or more like an accelerated or decelerated aging per chronological age. Yeah. So I'm on the biomarker pattern diagnosis side. So I don't like this term diagnosis because aging is still not a disease. It's a very broad spectrum processes, and so we are not developing any treatment. We are on the side that developing tools that help you to assess the efficiency of particular interventions. For instance, some supplements are improving your overall aging scores based on these proteins, or not working so much, or not doing anything. And there's so we try to empower the end users. And there's lots of supplements out there, and it's quite an unregulated market. And people are taking tens, hundreds of supplements, and some of them don't do anything, and we might be able to help provide tools to end users to decide whether something makes a difference or not in their molecular levels. So it's a native web application. So our app flow, it's called the Age Curve application. So basically you sign up to our service. Currently we only sell in the UK, and there's a pilot ongoing in the US, but Europe is in the pipeline, hopefully continental Europe coming soon. And you purchase the kit online, you get a tube. This is quite standard, and we use saliva-based profiling, which is a totally non-invasive method that is being used in personal genomics services. So we build a complementary service to personal genomics, and then people spit in a tube, send the saliva sample to our lab, and then a couple of weeks later they log into the web browser, into the web application, or using their mobile phones, and start their journey to educate and learn a lot about themselves. We not just capture aging-related characteristics, but also a couple thousand proteins that are coming from the bacteria that are living in our mouth. So it's called the microbiome, the oral microbiome, and it has lots of interesting information about it. So people who like quantified self, so learn about themselves on a molecular level, we provide them very interesting molecular snapshots. And based on that, they can learn, and hopefully they can use it to later on make some decisions, to try to come up with decisions to do some kind of lifestyle choices or interventions to counteract the biological side of the aging process. What is interesting to see is that I'm part of this longevity community for a while now, like 10, 15 years. When I was 14, I decided I'm going to be working on fixing aging and giving health to everybody around me to align to the mission. And this longevity community in the last 2 years has just turned into an actual industry. Now that we have lots of results, when there's money thrown at to these startups to make some difference in the life of people and in the clinics. And well, the most exciting one within this industry, the one unicorn we have is the zombie cells, the senolytics. I'm pretty sure that others mentioned this as well, where you have these zombie cells in you that are accumulate with age, and they secrete proteins, they produce proteins that make a hostile tissue environment that is giving rise to other kind of diseases, inflammatory ones. And if you kill out these things, and some supplements might be actually doing this, so there are products in the market that you can just go right away and purchase and start doing something about it, it might lead to healthy lifespan extension. that can be measured in months or years, we don't know yet because it's human life. Absolutely, so I'm really happy about this initiative, and I was personally invited by Manuel Corpas, who was in Cambridge, and I really like the work Loreto was doing as well, and hopefully it's going to be continuing. So there's many being launched right now. I'm hoping that Longevity World Forum is going to find its particular angle of being able to rotate the separate topics to capture the most important, hippest topics, and there's a chance to do so.